Let's go. Come on. All right, let's go. Come on. As you can see, we've had a few mic issues, so we're going to start with a quick dub over. Let's go. Well, welcome back to our channel. Now, we're on the road again, but we've left the country. As you can see, the boys are being looked after, and we've flown nearly 9,500 kilometres and landed here in China. So as you can see, we're excited. So come on, jump on board and let us start here in Beijing. So we've hit the ground running here in Beijing, and our guide has given us these little headsets for our ears. They called them whispers, so we can hear what she's saying. But we're walking up this main street down towards Tiananmen Square. It's called Kunmen West Street, and as you can see, there's huge crowds already. Lucky for us, the groups were off to the right and the regular people off to the left, so we consistently moved forward. And here we are in the queue to get into Tiananmen Square, and as you can see, lots of umbrellas deflecting the heat. It was 34 degrees Celsius today, and you'll notice quite a few cameras when you look around. See cameras just there. But this took us an hour and a half to get through the queue before we went through the checkpoint to go under the subway, under the road, to lead us up towards Tiananmen Square. We're about to walk down the promenade, and it's called Guangchang West Side Road. So we're walking down the promenade of Tiananmen Square. Behind the pine trees here is Chairman Mao's mausoleum, monument. This is our guide, Vanessa. But here we are, Tiananmen Square. Yeah, stop. This is the China Congress building. So as we turn, we're now facing the monument to the People's Hero, and behind that in the distance is the National Museum of China. So there is Chairman Mao. See, this is real life Tiananmen Square. Last week, with the celebrations, this was empty except for the military processions. Now look at it, it's full to the brim of people. We were waiting for nearly 45 minutes to get through the lines to get in to Tiananmen Square. So now we're leaving Tiananmen Square. So now we're going underground. Right, so successfully negotiating the underground pass then, and off to our right here is Tiananmen Square over this massive 8-lane freeway to our right, and we're coming up alongside Tiananmen Gate, where you can see Chairman Mao's portrait.
Hello, Chairman Mao.
Right, so as we continue to battle these crowds, as we head up this beautifully red carpeted ridge over this river in front of Tiananmen Gate on this beautiful 35-ish degree day. It's a little bit of argy-bargy and pushing and shoving going on, but we'll continue on our way as we head through Tiananmen Gate into the Imperial City. Let's go. So as we exit the tunnel, we come out into an area that is completely different from Tiananmen Square. There's trees and foliage, and yeah, it's just architecture and pretty. But yeah, we had to let some of the group catch up, so we had a quick break here. And well, yes, it was warm and they were selling ice cream, so check these intricate beauties out.
Go on, unbox. Yum.
This place is huge. Now there are so many different gates and tunnels and buildings and palaces, but we're heading up here, and I think it's called Tiananmen. It's known as the Gate of Uprightness, or the Upright Gate. So we head through this gate into another tunnel, and we'll keep on going through. But it's the architecture, just look around, it's beautiful. Yes, again, the crowds as people here sheltering from the heat.
And now we're coming out of the tunnel into the Forbidden City. Left.
Okay, so now I'll get it right. We're now heading towards the Meridian Gate, and just up here on your left is the ticketing office, which is the entry now into the Forbidden City.
Well, that was chaos. Disorganised chaos to get through the ticketing booth to come in here to the Forbidden City. So many tunnels. Everybody's taking shelter from the sun. Hello.
So as we exit the tunnel and our eyes adjust from the darkness into the light, take a second to breathe and look around and the majesty of the Forbidden City. Look at the crowds. Luckily for us, we have to also wait for the group and it thins out a little bit. But there directly in front of us is actually a bunch of gates, all with different spiritual meanings, but it's beautiful nonetheless.
Are we using our Telstra acronyms, are we? Emperor Nasi Goreng and his Great Wall of China. I know.
Now we've taken the gate to the left. It's called the West Corner Gate, or Zendunem, or Zendamen. And now in front of us directly is the Palace Museum.
This is the gate to the offices of the Forbidden City. And these lions have significance. The Forbidden City is built up into sections. And this is the office section. The footpath is very uneven.
As we go through yet another gate, look at the beautiful vibrant colours and the intricacy of the carvings. As we come out here, the majesty of it all. I'm just going to let you take a look around. It's massive.
So large. And this is just a second section. Through this gate is yet another section. There's lots of walking today and it's very warm, but we're surviving. So we've made ourselves up here to the upper level of the third section of the Forbidden City. We were down there, and we've come up these stairs to the upper section. There seems to be all these offices in the middle. Michael's saving someone's runaway umbrella there. Umbrellas are hugely popular for the sun today. We've got our sunscreen on and our hats. But there's also another section over there. This place is just huge. We've only got 20 minutes to meet the guide for free time. So we're just going for a quick wander to try and get photo time and just take some more in, because we found today that with the guide, she walks very fast, explains very fast, and we're a group of 37 of varying ages with quite a few people in the older or upper age region. And this looks like a perfect photo opportunity that Michael's taking advantage of.
As we walk through and find this beautiful garden, like a green oasis amongst the concrete, the temperature noticeably drops and the shade is a welcome respite from the heat. But it's gorgeous in here. All the beautiful, lovely trees, the pines and the cherry blossoms. It's just gorgeous, and it's beautiful walking through here.
Finally, some real garden in the Forbidden City.
Join us next time and we'll get to the Great Wall of China, amongst other things. See you then.